I'll never forget the day my life fell apart. It was a Tuesday mid-afternoon. I was at work when my phone buzzed, a simple text from my wife. "We need to talk when you get home." When I walked through the door, she was already packing. No explanations, no arguments, just tears and a quiet, "I can't do this anymore." That was it. The woman I'd built my life with for 8 years walked out, leaving me with nothing but questions and a broken heart. For years, I replayed every moment of our marriage, looking for where I went wrong. Therapy didn't help. Neither did late-night drives or drinking myself into oblivion. I couldn't shake the feeling that there was something missing, something she didn't tell me. But eventually, I had to move on, or at least pretend I had. Fast forward 5 years. I'm still single, still picking up the pieces, but I've managed to rebuild a life of sorts. And then, last month, everything came crashing down again. It started innocently enough. My mom came over for coffee. She's been my rock since the divorce. Always supportive, always ready to listen. We were reminiscing about old times when she said something that froze me in my tracks. "Well, I just thought she'd see reason after what I told her." My stomach dropped. "What are you talking about?" She looked flustered, like she'd let slip a secret she never intended to share. "Nothing. Forget I said anything." But I couldn't. I pressed her until she finally confessed. She'd been meddling, behind my back, of course. She told my wife I was hiding money from her, that I was planning to leave her for someone else. None of it was true, but my mom insisted she did it for me. "I was trying to protect you," she said, as if that made it better. Protect me? From what? From a happy marriage? From the love of my life? It felt like the ground had been ripped out from under me. All those years I'd spent blaming myself, wondering what I'd done wrong, and it was her, my own mother. She destroyed my marriage with her lies, and she did it with a smile on her face, thinking she was helping. I left her house that day and didn't look back. For the first time in my life, I felt like I truly hated someone. But cutting her off wasn't easy. She's my mom. She's the glue that holds our family together. Or at least she was. When I told my siblings what happened, they were furious at me. "You're overreacting," they said. "She was just trying to help." But how do you explain to someone that the help you never asked for cost you everything? That every lonely night, every pang of heartbreak, every moment of self-doubt I've had over the past 5 years can be traced back to her? The confrontation was ugly. My mom cried, begged me to forgive her, said she'd never meant for things to go so far. But I couldn't, and still can't. Forgiveness feels impossible when the wound is still raw, still bleeding. Now the family is divided. Holidays are awkward. My siblings have practically disowned me for cutting her off. They think I'm being dramatic, that I'm punishing her for a mistake. But is it a mistake if she never even apologized properly? If she still tries to justify it every chance she gets? I've lost so much. My wife, my family, my sense of trust. But for the first time in years, I feel like I'm standing up for myself. I'm not letting someone else dictate my life anymore, even if it means standing alone. Sometimes I wonder if I've done the right thing, if I'm the a-hole for refusing to forgive her. But then I think about all those nights I cried myself to sleep, all the years I spent in the dark, and I know I can't go back. So Reddit, am I the a-hole for cutting off my mother after discovering she's the reason my marriage ended? Story 2, I never thought I'd be that person, the one who drops a bomb so big it rips the room apart. But here I am, and I still don't know if I was right. Last Sunday we were at my in-laws' house for dinner. It was one of those picture-perfect evenings, kids running around, my mother-in-law bustling in the kitchen, and my father-in-law pouring wine and joking about his golf game. But under all that, I felt like I was suffocating. My husband, let's call him Mike, was acting like everything was fine, like he wasn't dragging us into a financial black hole. For months, I've been sitting on this secret. Mike has been gambling, and not the occasional poker night or sports bets. No, this is full-blown, compulsive online gambling addiction. At first, I didn't notice. He'd stay up late, claiming he was working on side projects. Then I saw the credit card statements. Thousands gone, not once, not twice, but month after month. When I confronted him, He broke down and begged me not to tell anyone. "I'll fix it," he said. "I just need time." So I kept quiet. I've been pulling double shifts, canceling plans, skipping hair appointments, all to keep us afloat. Meanwhile, he kept gambling. Every time he said he'd stop, I'd find another withdrawal, another lie. By Sunday night, I was already on edge. We'd fought in the car on the way there. He'd promised he was done, but I'd found yet another $500 missing from our account that morning. Still, I plastered on a smile for his parents, because what else could I do? Then during dinner, Mike made some snide comment about how I've been obsessed with money lately. It hit me like a slap. The audacity, the hypocrisy. I felt my blood boil. I tried to brush it off, but he wouldn't let it go. He kept pushing, joking about how I'd probably make him start using coupons. And I snapped. "You want to talk about money, Mike? Why don't you tell your parents where all our savings went? Tell them how you've gambled away everything we've worked for." The room went silent. Dead silent. My father-in-law put down his fork. My mother-in-law's face went pale. And Mike just froze. For a second, I thought he was going to deny it. But then he stood up, slammed his napkin on the table, and stormed out. Chaos erupted after that. His mom started crying. His dad was demanding answers. I tried to explain. The debts, the lies, the constant fear of losing everything. But they just stared at me like I was the villain. When Mike finally came back, he didn't say a word. He just grabbed his keys and told me to get in the car. The drive home was a nightmare. He called me every name in the book, accused me of betraying him, of humiliating him in front of his family. And maybe I did. Maybe I went too far. I didn't sleep that night. All I could think about was the look on his mom's face, the way his dad's hands were shaking as he reached for his drink. I never wanted to hurt them. But what was I supposed to do? Keep lying for him? Keep pretending everything was okay while he destroyed us? The next day, Mike moved into the guest room. We haven't spoken much since. He's been on the phone with his parents a lot, but he won't tell me what they're saying. I feel like I'm walking on glass, just waiting for it all to shatter completely. I don't know if our marriage can survive this. I don't know if I even want it to. But I do know that I'm tired of being the only one fighting to fix it. So Reddit, AITA, did I cross a line I can't come back from? Or was it time someone forced Mike to face the mess he's made? Because right now, I feel like the worst person in the world. Story 3, I found out my best friend's fiancé has a whole other family. No, really, a wife, 2 kids, a dog, a picket fence life in a city 3 hours away. And I'm the one being called a monster for saying something. Let me back up. It started innocently enough. I'm a project manager and my company just landed a new client. During one of our first meetings, this guy walks in, tall, confident, smiling like he owned the room. I froze. I knew him, except I didn't know him as Mr. Big Shot Client. I knew him as Ethan, my best friend Rachel's fiancé. The same Ethan I'd toasted at their engagement party last month, the one I'd helped pick out a tux for their wedding. But in this meeting, he wasn't Ethan. He was introduced as James. My stomach flipped. Maybe it was a coincidence. Maybe he had a reason for using a different name. My head spun with excuses, but my gut whispered, something's off. After the meeting, I'll admit it. I snooped. I searched James on LinkedIn. His profile was immaculate. Same face, same smile. But his bio painted a completely different life. His location? Not our city. His relationship status? Married. I found his wife's profile too. Her profile picture showed them hugging with 2 kids grinning beside them. I couldn't breathe. This wasn't some weird misunderstanding. This was a lie so big it felt like the floor dropped out from under me. For days I debated what to do. Do I confront him? Do I tell Rachel? Or do I shut up and pretend I didn't see anything? My mind went in circles. I couldn't stand the thought of breaking her heart. Rachel's been my best friend since we were kids. She's my ride or die, the one person who's always had my back. But what if I was wrong? What if there was some explanation? I decided I needed proof. Concrete proof. The next time we had a meeting, I casually brought up family life. So James, I said, forcing a smile, Your wife and kids live here or back in his LinkedIn location. His face flickered for half a second. Just a flicker, but it was enough to confirm what I'd suspected. He laughed it off, smoothly changing the subject, but I couldn't unsee the flicker. So, I did the thing I never thought I'd do. I drove to his LinkedIn city one weekend and scoped out the address listed on his wife's profile. I felt like a stalker. My hands were shaking the whole time. But when I saw him step out of that house, holding hands with his wife while the kids played in the yard, I knew. There was no misunderstanding. I didn't sleep that night. By Monday, I couldn't take it anymore. I called Rachel and asked her to meet me for coffee. Rachel, I need to tell you something, and it's going to hurt, I started. My voice was shaking. Her face went pale as I explained everything. The meetings, the LinkedIn profiles, the house. I even showed her pictures I'd taken from the car, feeling like the worst kind of person as I did it. She didn't say a word at first. Then she whispered, "You're lying." My heart shattered. "Rachel, I wish I was." She stormed out. The next day, Ethan, or James, or whoever the hell he is, called me. He was furious, accusing me of trying to ruin his life. He denied everything, said the photos were taken out of context, that I'd misunderstood. He even hinted that I was jealous of Rachel's happiness. And Rachel? She's not speaking to me. Her mom called me a few days later to say the wedding is still on and to kindly stay the hell away. I'm gutted. I've lost my best friend. Half our friend group thinks I'm a meddling, bitter liar. The other half says I did the right thing, but that doesn't make it hurt any less. I keep replaying it in my head. Was I wrong? Should I have stayed quiet? Let her marry a man living a double life? I thought I was protecting her, but maybe I was just selfish, unable to keep my hands clean. The wedding is next weekend. I'm not invited. Part of me wants to show up with all the receipts, but the other part knows it's too late. She's made her choice. Maybe it's not my job to save her. Still, I can't shake the guilt. Did I destroy her happiness, or did I just rip the Band-Aid off too soon? Am I the asshole for trying to protect her from a truth she wasn't ready to face? I don't know. All I know is I miss my friend. I can't believe I'm even writing this. But here we are. My family's basically turned against me, and I need to know if I'm the villain in this story. So a little background. Growing up, my older brother James was the golden child. He could do no wrong in my parents' eyes. Charming, funny, athletic. You name it, he was it. Me? I was the quiet one, the responsible one, the one they expected to pick up the slack. And I did without complaining. Until James decided to destroy my life. When I was 16, I had a part-time job after school. I'd been saving up for months to buy my first car. It wasn't much, just a few $100, but it was mine. One day, my parents sat me down and accused me of stealing money from their safe. $2,000. They said James saw me sneaking around their bedroom and caught me red-handed. I was stunned. I'd never stolen anything in my life. But James was so convincing. He'd seen me with his own eyes. He even faked some crocodile tears about how difficult it was for him to snitch on his little sister. My parents believed him instantly. They didn't even ask for my side of the story. They just grounded me, took all my savings as restitution, and treated me like a criminal in my own home. I begged them to believe me. I cried. I screamed. Nothing worked. James, meanwhile, was basking in the attention. Turns out he needed the money to cover some gambling debt he'd racked up with his friends. I found out later, but by then it didn't matter. The damage was done. That was the beginning of the end of my relationship with my family. I moved out as soon as I turned 18, worked 2 jobs to put myself through college, and never looked back. They barely noticed I was gone, too busy celebrating James's latest accomplishments. Fast forward to now. I'm 32, married, and finally at a place in life where I feel stable and happy. And then I get a call from my mom. James has kidney failure. He needs a transplant, and no one in the family is a match except for me. She didn't even ask how I was doing. Just jumped straight to, "You need to get tested. Your brother's life depends on it." I hung up. I needed time to think. But the calls kept coming. My dad, my aunt, even James himself. He didn't apologize for what he did to me. He didn't acknowledge the years of pain he caused. He just said, "I'm your brother." Family helps family. Does family destroy each other's lives? Does family lie and manipulate and let someone else take the fall for their mistakes? I told them no, I'm not doing it. And the fallout has been intense. My mom called me heartless. My dad said he was disappointed in me. Even some of my cousins are chiming in, saying I'm being cruel and petty. But here's the thing. I've spent my entire life cleaning up James's messes. I've sacrificed my mental health, my finances, and my dignity for a family that never stood up for me. Why should I give him a piece of my body? A piece of me? My husband supports me, but he's the only one. Everyone else is acting like I'm committing murder by saying no. He'll die without your kidney, they keep saying. Do they not realize how much of me has already died because of him? I've been having these awful nightmares. In them, I'm lying on an operating table, and the surgeon keeps saying, "We're taking too much. There's nothing left." And I wake up gasping, feeling like I can't breathe. I keep replaying everything James did to me, the lies, the manipulation, the years of estrangement that he's never even tried to mend. He doesn't want a sister. He wants a convenient solution. And my parents, they're enabling him, just like they always have. Maybe this makes me a bad person. Maybe I'll regret this decision one day. But right now, I feel like standing my ground is the only way I can reclaim the part of me James stole all those years ago. So Reddit, AITA for refusing to save the brother who ruined my life? Or is this the one time I'm finally allowed to choose myself over him? Story 5. AITA for refusing to raise my late sister's child after uncovering the truth about her death? I never thought I'd be the one to write something like this. But here I am, pouring my soul out to strangers because I can't carry this weight alone anymore. 2 months ago, my sister Sophie passed away. She was my older sister, my confidant, my rock when life got messy. Her death was sudden, tragic, and gut-wrenching. One moment she was there, smiling and telling me about her plans for her daughter's birthday party. The next she was gone. A car accident. That's what they told us at first. I was devastated, but I barely had time to grieve because I became the default guardian for her 3-year-old daughter, Lily. Sophie's ex, Ethan, wasn't in the picture. He'd been an absentee father from the moment Lily was born. Sophie had made it clear in her will that if anything happened to her, she wanted me to raise Lily. I didn't even hesitate. Of course, I would do it. She was my niece, my flesh and blood. How could I not? But then the cracks started to show. A week after Sophie's funeral, I got a call from one of her closest friends, Sarah. She sounded hesitant, almost like she wasn't sure if she should be telling me what she knew. "I don't think the accident was just an accident," she said. My stomach dropped. Sarah explained that Sophie had been in an argument with Ethan the day she died. Apparently, Sophie had recently discovered something about Ethan that made her furious. She'd been threatening to go to the police. Sarah didn't know the details, but she said Sophie had confided in her that Ethan wasn't just a deadbeat dad. He was dangerous. She had mentioned something about illegal dealings and manipulation, but Sophie hadn't given Sarah the full story. The argument they had was heated, and Sophie was terrified. Hours later, she was dead. I didn't want to believe it, but as I dug deeper, more pieces of the puzzle started to fall into place. Sophie's death wasn't a random accident. The autopsy report revealed she'd been driving erratically right before the crash, something completely out of character for her. Ethan, who hadn't shown his face at the funeral, suddenly started reaching out, asking about Lily. He wanted to reconnect. I confronted him. I asked him point blank what had happened that day. He laughed it off, called me paranoid, and said Sophie had been overdramatic, but his behavior was off. The way he dodged my questions, the smugness in his tone, it all made my skin crawl. I filed a police report, but without solid evidence, they couldn't do much. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that Ethan had something to do with Sophie's death. Here's where it gets even messier. As I started piecing things together, I realized that Sophie had been shielding Lily from Ethan for a reason. She'd been terrified of what he might do if he ever got custody. And now I was supposed to raise this child, knowing that her father might have had a hand in her mother's death, knowing that he was lurking in the shadows, waiting for a chance to strike. My family thinks I'm being selfish. They've called me everything from a coward to a traitor. How could you turn your back on Lily, they say. Sophie trusted you with her daughter. And they're right. Sophie did trust me. But how can I honor that trust when I feel like I'm putting Lily in danger just by keeping her with me? I tried to explain this to them, but they don't want to hear it. To them, it's black and white. Sophie is gone, and Lily needs a home. End of story. But it's not that simple. Every time I look at Lily, I see Sophie's face. I see the pain she must have gone through, the fear she must have felt in those final moments. And I see Ethan, his shadow lurking, his manipulative grin. Last week, I made the hardest decision of my life. I reached out to Child Protective Services. I told them everything about Ethan, about my concerns, about Sophie's death. They've placed Lily in temporary care while they investigate. My family is livid. They're calling me heartless, accusing me of abandoning my own niece. My mother hasn't spoken to me since. But here's the thing. I love Lily. I love her more than words can express. That's why I can't keep her. Because love isn't just about holding on. Sometimes it's about letting go, even when it shatters you. I couldn't protect Sophie, but maybe, just maybe I can protect Lily by stepping aside and making sure she's somewhere safe, somewhere far away from Ethan's reach. So, Reddit, AITA, am I the monster my family thinks I am? Or am I just a grieving sister trying to do the right thing in a situation where there are no right answers? I don't know anymore. All I know is that my heart feels like it's breaking into a million pieces, and I'm not sure it will ever be whole again. Thanks for sticking around to the end of today's video. These stories remind us just how complicated relationships can be and how every decision has a ripple effect. What do you think about these dilemmas? Who's the real hero and who's in the wrong? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed these stories and want more dramatic, thought-provoking content, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. We've got even more gripping stories coming your way, so stay tuned. Until next time, take care and keep those opinions rolling.